I feel like I need to talk to people like you, you know, a lot of people, just to understand different perspectives of life, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like I learn a lot from you.
Yeah.
Well,
I've learned a lot
because I think you're very open and honest. You know, like,
well, I've learned a lot from you too, mate, because you're the most positive person I've ever met in my entire life. That's just a fact.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, I've never seen you say a word in anger, or you don't. You're a mentally balanced man.
I think because I learn off people like yourself. You know? Yeah. Thanks for that.
That's all right.
I'll keep that video, audio.
Yeah.
Yeah. So growing up, you had a bit of trouble with your parents. And what age were you when she passed?
I was 12.
12. Oh, that's
Still remember the date. It was Tuesday, October the 20th, 1987. Never forget that date.
Wow. That's kind of like an age where you go through that transition, you know?
Yeah, it was starting
being a kid to
starting to get hairs on your dick and all that sort of stuff. Well, not me. I was a late bloomer, actually. I was 14, so... But yeah, look, it was tough. But everyone's got a different reason for feeling the way they do. So it's I've tried to take advice off other people. I've found it hard sometimes because our circumstances are different. One thing I did learn is that you can never say there's always someone worse off for your own situation, because that pushes everything down and actually makes things worse, because no matter what the circumstances are, the feeling you have is exactly the same.
Yeah.
So just because someone else has had a worse thing happen to the thing that's bothering you, it's really important not to say there's someone worse off, so I should be right, because it's not. It doesn't work.
And it's subjective too.
Yeah.
And everyone is different.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really apply, you know.
Yeah. Everyone. The only best advice I can give is to just try and, even if it's one positive thought will kill an army of 1,000 negative ones. If you can find one positive thought out of the worst thing in the world. Well, the worst thing that still happened to me was losing mum, and just to find one positive, it's hard to find, a really hard thing to do, but it helped me like you wouldn't believe, and then it sort of grows into more
like momentum,
thoughts.
Building momentum.
You can do it, and I still get down now over all different sorts of things.
That's natural. That's just behaviour. That's
part
just part of life.
Part of being a human.
Yeah.
I don't want to die anymore though. That's what I'm really happy about.
I'm happy too, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very big on the positive and negative. You know, even though you mentioned that you see me as like a positive person, but I also appreciate and value, you know, the positive and negatives. You know, I think life just naturally just hands people negative situations regardless, so you don't have to worry about something negative happening in your life.
Yeah.
But so knowing that, it helps me be a bit more balanced, I think.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people, they do say, you know, I'm a bit too positive.
No.
But it's because I know that life is going to hand me, you know.
You can never be too positive.
Exactly,
You can never be too positive. You can be cocky. That's a big difference, you know what I mean? But you're just a positive person.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's all about life, you know. I'm just trying to enjoy life.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of brings me back to like the center point, is I always remind myself that this is just to be enjoyed.
Yeah.
Regardless of what happens. You know?
Yeah. And so you've been around some bad stuff in your life too, haven't you?
I think so.
Seen some bad things and been around what's considered bad people and things like that, situations.
Oh, definitely seen fair share.
Yeah. And that's what you're positive out of it. You don't want to.
That's what I mean. Yeah, life is just going to put you in these situations anyway.
Yeah, it's all how you deal with it, and it's not easy. Like people are probably sitting there thinking, "Oh, this bloke's got it all worked out." I don't. To say something and act on something are two completely different things. Everyone knows what to do. It's doing it is the hardest part. It takes a lot of hard work.
Exactly.
It does.
All right. So to switch things up a little, what makes Paul Sheriff excited? Not in a sexual way.
Well, sex is exciting for anyone, isn't it? Everyone likes to drop a stack every now and again. But
what do you get into, Paulie?
Look, I love sitting out the back around a fire, listening to music and writing.
Oh wow, writing like
poem type stuff. I call them rhymes because I'm not a real poet.
I don't know the difference.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You
I've
got
sort
a
of.
bit of
It's not really poetic. No, poetic. I look at as
it sounds more poetic.
It's all wording. The wording people use, like really descriptive words. Mine are simple and basic. I'll give you an example before we go. I've got a couple.
There's a complexity and simplicity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll give you an example of one before we go. I've got a few on my phone.
Yeah, I'd like to hear it.
That was a heartbreak one.
That's all right.
From when I broke from my ex-wife.
Yeah.
That was pretty sort of hard thing. More out of love, but walking away from your kids is probably the hardest thing, you know. And without going into too much detail, especially if she is.
Exactly. We don't want to.
Yeah, we had
cross
some
any lines.
Yeah, you'll get the gist of it. Yeah, you'll get the gist of it anyway. I'll read it out for you.
Yeah,
whenever you like.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you do that quite often?
Yeah, I do write a lot of stuff. Yeah, quite a lot. It helps me. Well, Mum used to do that. She always said, writing things down, even if it's something that you hate and you can burn it later, anything. If you don't feel like you can talk to someone, it can
that's a good technique. Yeah,
it can really, really, really help you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And the mirror therapy, I came up with that one myself.
What's that?
With my own fuck ups, like the really bad, where I've made a cunt of myself on a drink or something like that. You know what I mean? Where it's you've just done a stupid thing, and we all do stupid things.
Of course.
I tell myself
this podcast could be a stupid thing.
I tell myself about it and look at myself in the mirror and tell myself what I did, and that's a hard thing
then you
to
see
do.
it. Yeah.
It's a very hard thing to do. You actually feel stupid at the start, but you do because you're talking to yourself. But it works for me.
It's kind of like when I think about people giving advice, like myself included. It's easy to give advice. Yeah. Because you feel like you can see everything. Yeah. But so when you use the mirror technique, you're basically telling yourself something. Yeah.
Well, you're literally fronting it to yourself. Yeah. It's one thing to think something, it's another thing to say it to yourself.
Wow, that's...
You
I haven't thought about that one before.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't make you like a schizophrenic or a multiple personality person.
No. It's a technique.
Yeah.
To help.
Yeah, so that works a little bit for me.